Chris Harry alongside Scott Carter from Gators Zone. It's day 7 of Florida Gator football practice, but it was day 1 for football practice for starting quarterback Jeff Driskel, who 9 days ago underwent an emergency appendectomy and now is back with the football team.
Yeah, and after practice I had a chance to catch up with Jeff, and here's what he had to say. Well, Jeff, 9 days ago we got news that you had the appendectomy, and here tonight, 7 days into camp, you're back out there. Just what was it like to get back on the field tonight?
Oh man, it was great to get out here with my teammates. It was tough, being a bystander there for a couple days, seeing everybody else working hard. But it was awesome to get back out here, and we got better tonight.
Obviously, you never know how you're going to heal from something like this. Did you expect to be back this soon?
They told me it could be within 2 weeks, so I figured that my body would handle it well, which it did. The surgeon did a great job, and everything went fine. So I was out here as soon as I could, didn't rush it, but as soon as I was cleared, I was anxious to get back out here.
And now that you're back, you did miss the first few days, but do you feel pretty comfortable with where you're entering camp here, and what would be your focus early on?
I'm very comfortable. Really being alert in meetings, because you're not getting the reps doesn't mean you can't retain stuff and you can't learn from what the other guys did. So I think I got a lot from the first 6 or so practices that I missed. But my focus is just getting better each and every day. That's what training camp's for. Coming out here and working hard and competing.
And obviously, first time I guess you've thrown to some of these young receivers in camp. Just what was your early impression of those guys?
Yeah, they're still raw. They're still learning the playbook, and I think they're doing a pretty good job. There's a lot of talent out there. They just really got to get in that playbook and know what they're doing. Some of those guys are going to have to help us this year.
Jeff's obviously happy to be back, and let's face it, he looked pretty comfortable out there.
Yeah, he did. I think the Gators are happy he's back. He did look pretty comfortable, and obviously you just don't know how a guy's going to react to and having your appendix removed. But obviously he's a fast tiller, and just watching him from the sideline tonight, it was really hard to imagine that 9 days ago he was having invasive surgery. But he looked sharp and threw some really crisp passes, and I think it was a good return to camp for him.
And it wasn't like he wasn't heavily involved with this team for the last 7 days anyway, correct?
Yeah, he was out here. He was obviously part of the installation process that Brent Pease is undergoing with the offense right now. So I don't think there's a lot of catch-up that he's going to have to do here now that he's back with the team.
Driskel wasn't the only Gator to rejoin the team. Inside linebacker Antonio Morrison rejoined the team today also and was out doing a little bit of running around.
Yeah, Morrison is a guy who a lot of fans remember from the fumble that he caused in the Florida State game last year that really turned the momentum. And he's a player that the Gators really, they're expected to count on at middle linebacker as, trying to find a replacement for John Bostic. And they got him back out here. We're still going to obviously learn more about his status in the coming days from head coach Will Muschamp. I'm sure they were glad to see him out here on the practice field tonight.
It was a welcome sight given some news of the development with Matt Rowland, the freshman linebacker.
Yeah, unfortunate knee injury for Matt Rowland. He's a freshman linebacker from Virginia, that came down early and enrolled, and he's really, they were hoping that he may be able to play some his first year. Now it looks like the knee injury may keep him out, and it's a tough break for the Gators.
Now let's go back to the offensive side of the football. Driskel back, working with Tyler Murphy, back and forth. We're seeing some things for some of those young wide receivers. There's some inside the 20 stuff going on, red zone stuff going on, and there was some nice catches out there.
Yeah, DeMarcus Robinson, after seeing him a few days of practice, you can understand why fans are excited about him. Ahmad Woolwood, Alvin Bailey, those young guys look impressive. And, after practice and talking to Jeff, asked him about the receivers. And he says, yeah, they're raw, but he says they're good enough to help them, and they're going to need help from those guys, especially now with the bows going. So I think you're seeing some progress made at that position. And now having Driskel back, maybe they all get a little bit of rhythm. It can only help the offense at this point.
Now it's a matter of those guys separating themselves and see which one maybe moves up in the depth chart for the pecking order, and that separation can start in earnest Saturday in the Swamp when the Gators have their first scrimmage of the season. Scott will be there, I'll be there, Gator Zone will be there with exclusive highlights. Come back and see us.